Ladies and gentlemen, listen closely. We treat our phones better than we treat our own lives. Pause for a second and really let that sink in. When your phone battery drops to 10%, what do? Panic mode. Immediate action. You look for a charger. You grab a power bank. You switch to low power mode. You close apps. You stop wasting energy. You become careful, strategic, intentional. All of that urgency to protect a battery you can replace for a small amount of money. But when you hit 10%, when your body is exhausted, your mind is overloaded, and your spirit feels empty, you don't panic. You don't protect yourself. You don't slow down. You tell yourself, it's fine, I'll push a little more. One more task, one more day, one more week, I'll rest later. That little more is how people burn out for years. That little more is how dreams slowly suffocate. That little more is how you wake up one day realizing you spent your entire life charging everyone else while your own life sat at 2%, barely functioning. The next year is coming whether you are ready or not. It's not asking for permission. It's not waiting for you to feel rested, confident, or prepared. The world is not slowing down because you're tired. Technology is not pausing because you haven't caught up. People younger than you, people who didn't even exist when you started your career, are learning faster, failing faster, adapting faster, and you're still sitting there explaining to yourself why you can't start yet. Same excuses, same delays, same waiting, same habit of putting yourself last, same pattern of treating your life like it matters less than a phone battery. So let me ask you something, and I want an honest answer. When was the last time you truly put yourself first without guilt? Not after this one task. Not next year. Not when things calm down. I mean genuinely first. Unapologetically first. Think about it. Because for most people, the answer is uncomfortable. Most people put themselves last. After work. After family. After friends. After messages. After social media. After people who wouldn't reply back for a day. After everyone else's emergencies. After everyone else's comfort. And then they wonder why they feel drained, why they feel stuck, why they feel quietly angry at life, why they feel resentment building, why something always feels missing, why it feels like they're living someone else's life instead of their own. Here's an uncomfortable truth. No one is coming to save you. That may sound harsh, but it's not meant to break you. It's meant to free you. Your boss is not going to suddenly prioritize your dreams. They care about their goals. Your friends are not going to pause their progress because you're stuck. They have their own lives. Even the people who love you cannot live your life for you. They cannot make your decisions, take your risks, or build your future. And that's not sad. That's powerful. Because the moment you accept that nobody is coming, you stop waiting. You stop hoping. You stop expecting. You start acting. You start building. You start choosing yourself. Putting yourself first doesn't look comfortable. It never has. It looks lonely sometimes. It looks misunderstood. It looks like sacrificing comfort for progress. It looks like choosing the mission over approval. While others protect comfort, you protect your future. While others chase balance, you chase growth. And in the beginning, people will call you obsessed, extreme, unhealthy, selfish. Later, they'll call you disciplined, brilliant, inspiring. That's how it always works. Most people live their lives on later mode. Later I'll get healthy. Later I'll learn the skill. Later I'll take the risk. Later I'll focus on myself. Later I'll start. Later becomes never, and never turns into regret. Regret is the voice that shows up years later saying, I had potential. I almost started. I could have been more. The people you admire didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for perfect timing. They didn't wait to feel ready. They kept going when they were underestimated, rejected, laughed at, ignored. They didn't beg the system to accept them. They became so good, so focused, so consistent that the system had no choice but to notice. Here's a brutal truth most people avoid. If you don't build yourself, if you don't invest in yourself, one day you won't even be able to help the people you're sacrificing for. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you don't have. The next year is not about working harder. Everyone is tired of hearing that. It's about working smarter on yourself, your skills, your health, your mindset, your time, your energy, your focus. Because if you stay the same while everything else evolves, you become replaceable, obsolete, left behind. So ask yourself this, honestly. What would your life look like if you chose yourself without apology? Not someday, not eventually. Today. Let's get real for a moment. The reason you don't put yourself first isn't complicated. It's fear. Fear of being judged, fear of being called selfish, fear of being the bad guy. You didn't suddenly change. You just stopped being available all the time. You set boundaries, you protected your time, and suddenly people panic. Suddenly you're different. Funny how nobody complained when you were exhausted. Funny how nobody checked on you when you were giving everything away. People-pleasing doesn't make people respect you. It makes you convenient, useful, always available, rarely valued. And that fake guilt you feel when you say no, that's conditioning. You trained people to expect your time. You taught them your needs come last. So of course, they're uncomfortable when you stop. Fear of judgment is another illusion. People are not watching you the way you think. They're busy worrying about themselves. Every person who moved ahead disappointed someone. Every single one. Not because they were cruel, but because they stopped explaining and started acting. If the coming year is going to be different, here's the rule. Stop trying to be liked by people who don't pay the price for your life. Protect your time like it's money, because it is. Time is the one thing you never get back. Putting yourself first doesn't require permission. Some people will be uncomfortable. Good. That's a sign you're moving. You're not here to be convenient. You're here to become something. And the version of you that says yes to everything, that version has to go. Let's get practical. Most people say they want change, then start their day by scrolling. Before they even remember they're alive, they let notifications decide their mood and priorities. You don't lack time, you leak time. There's a difference. Hours disappear into screens, and somehow there's no time left to build a future. One focused hour a day changes everything. 1 hour learning, 1 hour building, 1 hour improving a skill. That's hundreds of hours a year. That's how ordinary people become dangerous. Not overnight, consistently. Habits are not exciting, but they are powerful. Every day you're voting for the person you're becoming. Comfort or progress, distraction or focus, consumption or creation. No single choice feels big. That's the trap. Until years pass and nothing has changed. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline shows up when motivation disappears. You don't need a perfect routine. You need a non-negotiable one. Simple, repeatable, sustainable. Your environment matters. You cannot build focus in chaos. Reduce distractions. Make bad habits harder. Make good habits easier. And stop calling yourself busy when you're just distracted. Putting yourself first is a daily decision. Quiet, unseen, nobody will applaud it. But one day, your results will speak so loudly you won't need to explain anything. Most people stay stuck because blaming the world feels safer than taking responsibility. Responsibility is heavy. It means no excuses, no hiding, but it's also where real power lives. Your life is your responsibility. Your future is your responsibility. Every decision you make is shaping it right now. This is the moment everything comes together. Putting yourself first is not a feeling, it's action, repeated daily, boring actions, invisible actions, actions that compound, waking up earlier, learning instead of scrolling, choosing growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, progress over pleasure. Every day you do this, you're building the future version of yourself. Every day you skip it, you're voting for regret. Comfort is expensive. It costs you everything. So imagine the end of the next year. Look back. Do you see another year wasted, or do you see growth, progress, a different version of yourself? That choice is made today, not tomorrow, not when things are easier. Now, choose yourself. Protect your time. Build your skills. Train your mind. Refuse to stay small, because the world won't wait. Your dreams won't wait. Your future is being created by what you do today. Let's finish this with the part that actually makes it real, because motivation that ends in a nice feeling is useless. What matters is what you do when this video ends and you're alone again with your habits. Here's what most people don't want to admit. They don't put themselves first because they think it's selfish. But it's not selfish. It's survival. It's sanity. It's self-respect. Because if you keep treating yourself like an afterthought, one day you'll wake up and realize you built a life where everyone else is supported and you're the one collapsing quietly in the background. And that's the tragedy. Not that you failed, but that you never really tried for yourself. You were always available, always helpful, always saying yes, always responding fast. You became the person everyone could rely on, the person who can handle it. But you know what nobody tells that person? That being reliable without boundaries turns you into a tool, and tools don't get thanked. Tools get used. That's why people-pleasing is so dangerous. It doesn't build love. It builds dependency. It trains people to assume you'll always be there, even when it costs you your peace, your sleep, your progress, your health. And the moment you step back, they don't ask how you're doing, they ask what's wrong with you, because they're not used to you having limits. Choose yourself, protect your time, build your skills, train your mind, refuse to stay small, because the world won't wait. Your dreams won't wait. Your future is being created by what you do today. So you have to decide, are you living to be approved or are you living to become something? Because approval is cheap. It's temporary. It disappears the moment you stop being useful, but becoming something, that stays with you. That becomes your identity. Now let's talk about the phone analogy again because it's not just a clever comparison, it's a mirror. When your phone is low, you protect it immediately. You don't let it drain to zero. You don't keep streaming videos. You don't keep running 10 apps in the background. You become serious. You become disciplined. So why don't you do that with yourself? When your energy is low, you keep donating it to things that don't deserve it. You keep saying yes. You keep responding. You keep pushing. You keep scrolling and calling it rest. And then you wonder why you feel empty. Real rest isn't scrolling. It's recovery, it's sleep, it's silence, it's stepping away, it's feeding your mind something clean, it's letting your nervous system breathe. Scrolling is not recovery, it's stimulation. It's like pouring more noise into a tired brain and calling it peace. That's why you wake up tired even after resting, because you didn't rest. You escaped. And escaping doesn't build a life, it delays it. Now here's the key shift for the coming year. You don't need a new personality, you need new rules. Most people fail because they run their life on feelings. I'll do it when I feel like it. I'll start when I'm motivated. I'll change when I'm inspired. And then they wait forever because feelings are unstable. Winners run their life on systems. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on structure. They don't hope the day goes well, they decide what matters. They don't leave their time open for distractions, they guard it with rules. So let me give you a simple system. Not complicated, not perfect, just effective. First rule, your morning belongs to you. Not to messages, not to notifications, not to the internet, not to other people's emergencies. Your first 30 minutes are your foundation. If you hand them away, you hand your direction away. Second rule, 1 focused hour a day. 1 hour learning. 1 hour building. 1 hour improving a skill that actually changes your trajectory. Not 7 hours, not 5 hours, 1 hour. Consistent. Because 1 hour a day is not small, it's powerful. Over a year, it becomes a new version of you. Third rule, boundaries without apology. You do not have to explain why you're protecting your time. You do not have to justify why you're investing in yourself. You do not need permission to grow. The people who genuinely care about you will adjust. The people who only benefit from you being available will complain. And that complaint is information. It tells you who is using you, not loving you. Fourth rule, trade comfort for progress daily. Comfort is not evil, but comfort without discipline is a trap. A little discomfort every day keeps you growing. A little discipline every day keeps you moving. A little focus every day keeps you building. That's how you stop being average. Not by doing huge things once, but by doing small things consistently. Now I want you to imagine this clearly. Imagine the last day of the next year. You look back and you see proof. Not dreams. Proof. A stronger body, a sharper mind, a better skill set, more confidence, more discipline, more freedom, more control. And you know what will be the best part? Not the money, not the praise, not the applause. The best part will be this feeling, I did not abandon myself this time. Because most people abandon themselves daily. They betray their own plans. They ignore their own needs. They delay their own growth. They sacrifice their own future. You don't have to do that anymore. This is your life. Not a rehearsal, not a draft, not something you'll fix later. The clock is moving whether you move or not. So right now, make a decision. Not an emotional one, a committed one. Decide that your time matters. Decide that your energy matters. Decide that your growth matters. Decide that you are not an afterthought in your own life. Choose yourself. And if you want this year to be different, don't wait for January, don't wait for Monday, don't wait for when things calm down. Start today, because a year from now, you will either be grateful you started or stuck wishing you did. So choose the version of you who starts. If this message hit you, don't just feel it, use it. Like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder. Choose yourself and don't apologize for it.